The Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, a nice stretch of weather over the next couple of days. We have a cool front coming in tonight. You won't notice it other than winds and maybe the wind chimes picking up about 2-3 o'clock in the morning across the area as our winds shift out of the southwest to the northwest. Some clouds out there, maybe a sprinkle, but most of us stay dry, and we got a couple of dry days ahead before our next weather maker, and it's going to be a troublemaker, arrives early this weekend. More on that in just a bit. You can see the satellite imagery across the lower 48, actually a relatively quiet pattern. Some snow up in the northeast, the Midwest, the Great Lakes, and the Pacific Northwest where the storm track is right now, but eventually we're going to see a system digging into the Rockies and then pushing eastward, delivering us a good chance of rain and storms and perhaps severe weather as we get into early Saturday. That's the current timing. So here's our frontal boundary. You don't see much going on with it. Some clouds, maybe a sprinkle or two, and as we put the NAM model in motion, it reaches Lafayette roughly about 2 a.m. It's shifting our winds right around that time, and maybe a shower or two, but it's going to be short-lived. And by tomorrow morning, back to mostly sunny skies, and we got some good-looking weather ahead with mostly sunny and cooler conditions, about 10 degrees cooler than today. Plus, there's going to be a little bit of a wind, so there'll be a little nip in the air first thing tomorrow morning. But we should get into the lower 60s, which is perfectly normal this time of year. And then tomorrow night, with high pressure moving overhead, that's going to be the chilly night. We'll get to that in just a bit, but plan on mid to upper 30s. And then Wednesday afternoon, still cool in the morning, but warming up for the afternoon. So let's dial into the European model. We're going to show you some interesting stuff in just a bit, bringing it up to Thursday. And this is overdone with respect to the precip, but it tells us moisture's coming back on Thursday. So we're going to go mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures push into the 70s. It gets downright windy Friday as that pressure gradient tightens up as low pressure develops here. We're going to have a big ridge of high pressure out in the Atlantic, and then the threat of severe weather with this area of low pressure developing Friday, at least an enhanced risk of severe storms here. It may even be a moderate risk, and then that severe weather threat moves into Louisiana as we head into early Saturday. This is the European model timing, so we may have to adjust this down the line, but it looks like late Friday night, early Saturday morning, then by Saturday afternoon, things improving. Got a nice day as we head into Sunday, but clouds coming back in and some quick hitting systems. We'll have one on Monday, a break maybe Tuesday, and then another one coming in for Wednesday. So much more unsettled pattern. And oh, by the way, some pretty cold air up here. I might make it in about 2 weeks or so. We'll have to wait and see on that. A lot of numbers here, but this is one of the things I look at behind the scenes and taking a look at the European model numerical data. And two things that we'll look at: CAPE, convective available potential energy. Where does the energy go up? Right here. And also the 850 millibar winds, which is about 5,000 feet. And when you see 60, 70 mile an hour winds at 5,000 feet, this is the time that we'll be watching for the threat of severe weather. That's 4 a.m. Saturday through about 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. That's when the dynamics are going to be strongest. We're going to have some thunderstorm energy, and that's what we will be looking at. That's the current time frame on the severe weather threat, we'll say, coming into this weekend. Upper 40s to near 50 tonight. Tomorrow we'll get into the lower 60s, so a nice day, lots of sunshine. Tomorrow night, mid to upper 30s. I'm going to go for a low of 37 in Lafayette, but lower 30s northern portions of Acadiana, so maybe some frost tomorrow night, so you're going to want to protect the plants going into tomorrow evening, and then back into the mid 60s for Wednesday afternoon. Lots of sunshine ahead. So the next 24 hours looking good. A little cool in the morning, jackets and sweaters for sure, and then staying cool throughout the day. And by this time tomorrow evening, 44 degrees. That's going to feel a little bit different for sure. And as we go down the road, you'll see the clouds increasing Thursday, windy, maybe a few storms on Friday, but the big action coming in Friday night into Saturday morning with that severe weather threat. And we give the cool fronts all the props. So today I put on the warm fronts as well, which just means a changeable pattern over the next 7 to 10 days. 60s and 70s, might even push 80 on Friday before a little bit of a cool down going into next week. Overall, above normal temperatures.
Yeah, you got to show those warm fronts some love.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly right. Keeping everybody happy.
Thanks, Rob.